United Rugby Championship gets underway with Benetton Rugby hosting the visiting Benetton Bulls at the Stadio Monigo. Northeastern Italy, just around half an hour north of Venice is where we are. Benetton find themselves sporting 7 changes and a positional switch from the side that started in their victory over Dragons in round 5. A new front row with Mirco Spagnolo, Siua Maile and Simone Ferrari all returning. The other changes are in the back line though. There's a new half-back combination with Alessandro Garbisi starting at scrum half. Tomás Albornoz making his first start of the season at fly half. Matt Gallagher moves from full-back to left wing. Paolo Odogwu is starting on the right wing and Rhyno Smith starts at full-back. The bench sees a 6-2 forward split for the side captained by Michele Lamaro. Benetton Bulls have made 10 changes from the side that started in the defeat at Scarlet. Johan Grobbelaar has had his red card from last weekend rescinded. He starts at hooker alongside loosehead Alulutho Tshakweni. Van Heerden joins Cobus Wiese in the second row. Marcell Coetzee returns at 6. Elrich Louw captains the team coming in at 8. In the back line though, Embros Papier starts at scrum half. David Kriel returns to inside centre. Devon Williams starts at fullback. Abiwa Janchi is on the wing. And then, in a late change, scrum half Keegan Johannes is starting at fly half and Butcher Chamberlain out through overnight illness. They've also forced 3 changes on the bench as well. Jake White going for a 5-3 forward split. Here come the Bulls, not in their traditional sky blue, but rather in all white tonight with some light blue trim as they make their way out onto this wonderfully manicured pitch. It's a little wet underfoot. There's been rain about. There was some rain expected this evening, and while it was spitting a little earlier, there's nothing about in the air. There are a few Bulls supporters though, but a man making his way out alone ahead of his teammates is Tommaso Menoncello, the 22-year-old, born and raised in Treviso, a man who is a local favourite, a local hero, makes his 50th appearance for his childhood club, and has been one of the standout players not only for his club Benetton Rugby, but indeed since making his Italian test debut as well. Standout performer at the Six Nations this year as Italy enjoyed a rather successful campaign. He was player of the championship. The remainder of the Benetton players making their way out in largely black jerseys. The referees led by Ireland's Owen Cross, taking charge of his 22nd league game, the man from Limerick. Actually refereed his very first URC match in 2021-2022 season. It's Benetton's home game against Cardiff, joined by Andrea Piardi and Franco Rossello. Brian McNeice of Ireland is the TMO for this evening's encounter. But before we get into the match proper, we are going to have a moment of silence for Claudio Baliccio, a long-time servant of Italian rugby who served the Rugby Federation and indeed took Udine Rugby most notably to great heights from very humble beginnings. And more than just polite applause for a man who made his mark on Italian rugby genuinely. Benetton hosting the Bulls this evening, having suffered successive 30-plus points defeats in the second and third rounds after their opening round draw against Scarlets, before securing their first win of the campaign against the South African side, the Sharks, by 28 points in round 4, then beating the Dragons by 10 points at Rodney Parade last weekend. They will have kick-off. The Benetton Bulls find themselves coming into this fixture after 3 successive victories with a loss to Scarlets by a point last weekend. We are underway in Treviso as round 6 of the United Rugby Championship gets underway. The Bulls and Benetton going head-to-head, and Benetton with the very first penalty of the game just 10 seconds in. I'm delighted to say that alongside me for this evening's fixture, As the former Springbok, a man who played for a host of club teams over the years, but most notably for the Springboks. Tinus Delport, and Tinus very early on the offside call, the penalty awarded, and an early chance for Benetton to put points on the board.
Great start here for Benetton, really pushing through on that momentum that's been built in those last 2 wins, notably that very impressive away win against the Dragons, and exactly what the Bulls did not want after that second half performance against the Scarlets last week.
Yeah, you're 5 seconds ahead of the one in the stadium. Okay.
And Reinhardt Ludwig is guilty of reacting and picking up the ball after it was spilled forward.
Successfully slotted, and Albornoz in his first start. Returning from a very successful Rugby Championship campaign for Argentina. Star playmakers.
Okay, Bulls all behind.
Getting Benetton on the board within a minute of the start of the game. Really impressive start from Benetton. They'll be looking to build on the early points. This is not going out of play. It'd be remiss of me not to chat about the overnight illness that struck the Bulls camp, it seems, with 4 changes being made to the squad, and one of those is Keegan Johannes, the scrum half, starting at fly half as a result of Boeta Chamberlain coming down with something. And that might just shift things around a little. Here's Van Heerden wearing jersey number 25.
Use it!
Papier. Good protection from Wilco Louw. Box kick from Papier, asking the runners to chase. Just outside the 22, so not able to take the mark.
There, okay. We're going back for a penalty for obstruction against 2 white.
Obstruction penalty against Johan Grobbelaar.
Yeah.
Number 2 penalties for the Bulls to start with. Offside here against Johan Grobbelaar. Of course, his red card was rescinded from last week.
Okay.
There we go. That's the obstruction run, allowing Keegan Johannes
to
get that forward momentum.
Let's talk about Keegan Johannes and those changes, the resultant changes for the Bulls. Big impact, small impact, do you feel in this game overall? Is Michele Lamaro, the Benetton captain, is just getting a little bit of treatment?
Yes.
I think it's quite a big disruption for the Bulls. There's been a lot of pressure on them this week to perform after last week's disappointing result. They would have prepared the whole week with Boeta Chamberlain there. They did also go for the 6-2 split on the bench. Oh, sorry, the 5-3 split on the bench. But that whole backline on the bench has also been changed. Zach Burger coming in, Chris Smith and Harold Foster. So all of those preparations that they've done through the week has been disrupted with this illness.
So Rhyno Smith just beyond the 50-meter line. Rhyno Smith, he struck this beautifully and it's through. So Rhyno Smith converts a second early penalty for Benetton. They lead 6-0 in the early stages of this URC tie in round 6.
He's really stepped up his game, Rhyno Smith. That performance against the Sharks 2 weeks ago was phenomenal.
Yeah, player of the match performance in that 38-10 victory over the Sharks. There's Johannes. Going deep and fairly comfortable for Benetton to have a little bit of room to run at. Bulls taken into the tackle, but still inside their 22. Garbisi being told to use it. A little too far for Odogwu to chase. Still under control by Devon Williams though. That's the catch just beyond the 50-meter line.
Good clearance though there by Garbisi.
The box kicking from, look at Jake White, Director of Rugby for Benetton Bulls. The box kicking from the scrum halves for Benetton has been exceptional so far this campaign. A number of retained kicks has been impressive as well. Papier to go down the line in towards Kriel. Taken forward now by Marcell Coetzee. Van Heerden, wrestling runner who really impressed at an under-20 level. an opportunity with the Bulls this campaign and looking to continue his upward trend and trajectory. Here's Tshakweni.
Good work, Wood.
Starting his loose head tonight for Jake White's side. Papier again, finding Johannes. He looks to loft one. Janchi's up to challenge. Rhyno Smith can't hold on, and Canan Moody is there to take full advantage of it. Creel brings it down. Papier. Grobbelaar skips low, finds Johannes. Pop pass inside, it's lovely running. Devin Williams managed to hold on. Little tap though has brought him to ground. He gets up and makes a few extra meters. Now the captain, Ulrich Louw. To Wilco Louw. On the 22 are the Bulls. Looking for a response after the 2 early penalties by Benetton. Papier finding Cobus Wiese. Curtly Arendse. He's coming off his wing and joining the back line.
Wait.
So Bulls bustling along. They're going through the phases here. Benetton screaming for players to charge out toward the far side. Canan Moody, he's got the ability to break through the gaps. Can't find a clearance on this occasion. And the Bulls continue to muscle their way forward. They are continuing to run. Ulrich Louw looks to take it a few extra meters, has done so successfully. Now Reinhardt Ludwig into the tackle. Papier again. Crisp passing from the base. Wilco Louw. This is stoic defence from Benetton. Bulls are edging forward ever closer. Wilco Louw puts himself in the back line, expecting a pass perhaps to come his way. It's Cobus Wiese who takes it forward before being driven back a little among the tacklers. Mirco Spagnolo. Ludwig again. He can play lock or flank. Wilco Louw has lost it. And Rhyno Smith has the opportunity to put in the clearance. Nobody back for the Bulls. A little bit of a chase on for Janchi. For Williams. Oh, he's done brilliantly to get away from the tackler. And given his players a little bit of time. Marcell Coetzee gets in. Just protecting the ball. One handling error after several phases. He's driven the Bulls back nearly 50-odd meters. Again, Rhyno Smith. The high ball this time takes successfully.
Use it! Okay.
Garbisi again being warned to use it. Younger brother of Paolo Garbisi, the fly-half, now based in Spain. Part of the Italian squad, upcoming for the Autumn Nations Series though. Charged down, Ulrich Louw got a hand on that, but that is another penalty to Benetton.
Very patient defence here by Benetton. It's definitely an area that they've worked on a lot. Not giving any penalties away and absorbing all of the pressure the Bulls have been brought on. Bulls a little bit guilty for me, just playing within those 15 meters, not really stretching the Benetton defence out wide. And the one time they do it, they have Wilco Louw there and the ball gets turned over.
It was a massive hit, to be fair, from Ignacio Brex, who's renowned for his defensive abilities in that back line. He's among the 11 Italian internationals that have been called up for the Autumn Nations Series, who are in the starting lineup for Benetton against the Bulls here this evening.
And that's impressive.
17 Benetton players in the Italian squad, half the Italian squad from Benetton Rugby. Marco Bortolami, former lock who represented Italy, over 100 test appearances, captained every club side he played for as well, Bortolami, as Bulls have a penalty now.
Preventing it from getting to the contest. Here's your mark.
Benetton, they're guilty of not
I understand
their
you're
own
frustrated
ball in the lineup, and then with from the loose ball, holding a Bulls player back, and that's why the penalty is for. That's the hold back there.
Okay, just come to the end.
Stand over.
This is your mark at the outside of the line there, okay? Yes, yeah, number 3, yeah, perfect.
So 10 minutes down, Benetton, courtesy of 2 penalties, one converted from beyond the 50-metre line by that man, Rhyno Smith. South African Sevens player in years gone by, former Sharks player as well. devastating against the Sharks last time around. Advantage being played to the Bulls here after the knock-on from Lamaro. Up here to Van Heerden. Beyond the 50-meter mark. Marcell Coetzee.
Advantage over now.
Advantage over. Elrich Louw, ball in hand. Inside the Benetton half, but not by much. Bulls being driven back a little.
It's brought back in. Okay, wait, 2-2, wait. Keep retrieving. Hold on. It's inside. Okay, Bulls, keep retrieving. Keep retrieving.
Very comfortably.
Okay, hold on.
Two goes to boot. A bit of a kicking contest now. Janchi under the high ball, makes no mistake.
Use it.
All of his Springbok caps within the space of 6 months in 2018 up here with Janchi.
Use it.
Several internationals for Jake White's side that went up against Benetton, seeking to avoid a second successive loss, while Benetton go in search of a third successive URC victory. A telling run straight through the middle. Benetton up toward the halfway line. Here's Maile, Tongan international. Tshakweni looking rather pleased that the arm went up in the Bulls' favour.
Great work there by Johan Grobbelaar, getting over the ball. And Benetton being penalised for holding on. His read was
Just take a step for me, please.
perfectly timed. And he's been rewarded with a spot now in the touring squad for the Springboks, together with Wilco Louw after the injury of Jan-Hendrik Wessels.
Yeah, an unfortunate ankle injury for Jan-Hendrik Wessels. He's been brilliant as a utility forward. Can play hooker or prop indeed. But among those unavailable for the Bulls as a result tonight, and the likes of Roan Nortje, Gerard Steenkamp, Willie Leroux being rested after starting against Ospreys but not against Scarlets.
9 stay now.
David Kriel is back, so too Grobbelaar, both having red cards rescinded in the last couple of weeks. Van Heerden takes. Grobbelaar at the back. Are they going to use Papier, or are they going to try to march this towards the try line?
Use it!
Kriel. Albornoz hits him but doesn't stop him entirely. And the Bulls
Leave it to.
now within 5 meters of the Benetton try line. Grobbelaar seeking options, and the ball's been lost. Benetton feed at the scrum.
Just look at that reaction from Cannone after that hit. Elrich Louw there, charging through. And then the secondary hit and lodges the ball there. He did really well coming from depth, running with pace onto that ball. But it's still a little bit slippery after that initial rain.
Yeah, time off.
After 14 minutes, the Bulls have got nothing to show for the sparse opportunities they've had.
Yeah, despite a couple of really promising entries into the Benetton 22. On both occasions, though, having lost out possession through handling errors.
Yeah, of course, sir.
Niccolò and Lorenzo Cannone, the brothers from the Benetton side, both Italian internationals, both from Florence, both now Benetton stars. The defensive effort from Benetton has been superb, and they've forced the handling errors from the Bulls.
What Benetton is doing really well on defence is they're not overcommitting to the breakdown and to the tackle, and have the initial tackler, and then everyone stands up, form that line that the Bulls have to try and penetrate.
So left. Thank you. And left. Yes.
So many have made their way into the venue. It's a venue that is gradually being improved. The infrastructure upgrade has been impressive. Cameron Arnekom has made his way on for Elrich Louw. Certainly from a Bulls perspective, I'll hope that it's not permanent for the captain, Wilco Louw. Hanekom is on. 22-year-old from series. Benetton feed, that's a big scrum from the Bulls, but the ball is out quickly for Benetton, who go to boot. Unfortunate slip in rather wet conditions. The ball is safely out of play.
You go down, let's get the ball in, please.
That's the power and strength of Wilco Louw there on the tight head side.
I think a man who certainly doesn't underestimate the forwards on this Bulls side is Marco Bortolami, who's invested in a great deal of big, powerful forwards. They've improved their defence tremendously over the last couple of seasons. And last season we were quarter-finalists before losing out to the Bulls. There's another handling error. Ball down this time, Cameron Hanekom.
Okay, advantage over.
Knocking the ball on. Advantage over as Devon Williams brings this under control. He had options before nearly running into his own man.
Use it.
Into the Benetton half.
Use it.
The Vodacom Bulls.
Back in. 3, let him go.
But if you look at the defensive discipline from Benetton now compared to a couple of seasons ago, you can see the impact that Bortolami has made on their defensive structure, and the fact that they conceded, what was it, 20-odd fewer tries last season than previous seasons in the URC.
Yeah, and that is a defensive pattern that's developing, and they're getting more and more confidence in it. You can see there the guys trusting each other. They give that extra yard. No one overcommits. No one gives a discipline penalty by being offside. And if the bounce of the ball goes your way, the bounce of the ball goes your way.
Speaking of bounce of the ball, that bounced only just inside. Garbisi lofted it, was looking at it anxiously. Johannes was willing it out. Bounces just in the field of play and then out.
Already in touch there, Bomber.
Benetton had the line out because the ball had come off Johannes in a way. They're running the lines nicely. Couldn't feed the ball out to Menoncello, who's seen very little of the ball so far this evening. Garbisi's gone for the box kick more often than not. Here's Williams.
Okay, keep coming in midfield.
Territorial gain again by Benetton there and Garbisi. The third in stats in terms of kicking from hand, with 137 kicks coming into this match. So they are very reliant on their kicking game, getting in the right territory. There they forced Gianti on a forced kick, and they've gained about 20 meters in territory, and most importantly regained possession to attack from this line out.
I'm giving your front player a gap, okay? I asked you to be on him to respect that gap. Thank you, yes.
Siua Maile, 27-year-old Tongan international from Iwa, small island just east of Tongatapu in the southern group of Tongan Islands. He spent most of his career, though, in New Zealand.
No, it's after foot play on.
Quickly out to Izekor, who's lost it forward.
Yes.
Able to control in the rather damp conditions, and Curti Arends is unable to control after the advantage was being played.
It's just the coming together there, okay, lads? There's no foul play in that. We've got 2 knock-ons. First by Benetton, second by Bulls. Strong Bulls.
Easily explained by referee Owen Cross. Easy to loft it out towards Izekor. And while he's a brilliant and agile player in open play, it's his tackling ability that is so very impressive.
I don't see lifting the ball and then it comes
Very
out.
high work rate. He's on 52 tackles coming into this match for his team.
Set up on your ball. Let's give them the same, okay?
Works really hard, 6'5", 110 kilograms.
Okay,
Last season was the Tackle Machine Award winner. 188 tackles at a 98% success rate in the United Rugby Championship. Very impressive worker who's earned his way into the Italian Test squad. Having made his debut against England earlier this year in the Six Nations.
Nice quick reset. I feel we're both slipping. Yes, we'll move off the mark, yeah.
Certainly not easy in the damp conditions underfoot. We've seen it before in Treviso where the scrum has needed to move a few metres sideways, just crab a little, owing to the fact that it's, the ground has been churned up underneath the boots of the enormous players who sit in the scrums. So 20 minutes down, a quarter of the way through the fixture. Benetton, 2 penalties on the board, one by Albornoz and another from long range by Rhyno Smith. Bulls call. Taken quickly by Arnacom. On the park for Niccolò Cannone in the early minutes of this URC tie.
Okay,
Back towards Keegan Ioannis. Rhyno Smith sits himself. And under no pressure, Rhyno Smith drops his head after dropping the ball. He recognises what an error it was.
Yeah, he'll be very disappointed with his high skill set.
I need more.
No pressure. You just see there, he has a look up before he's had the ball in his arms. And that is a very good result for the Bulls. And Keegan Ioannis, after a kick that went way too far in terms of contesting.
Quick look at the Benetton bench that includes Tomás Gallo, who recently returned as well, the Argentine prop who had an excellent 2024 Rugby Championship. Enzo Avaca as well, who scored that amazing try against Dragons. Negri, Zuliani, such great contenders, great ball winners as well. Eli Snyman.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Bulls penalty.
And that's the power of the Bulls front row.
Below your hips and hinge.
That pressure on Spagnolo, just hinging. You can also see Ferrari here on the tight head side, boring in and hinging down. And this was our question before. Who's going to take the kicking duties now that Boutha Chamberlain is not starting, but Keegan Ioannis stepping up.
Better height, okay.
Certainly a few options, but missing Boutha Chamberlain, who's been excellent in terms of his kicking ability throughout the campaign, and a man who's also excellent at slotting drop goals. Former Sharks man unavailable last minute after overnight illness, he and 3 of his teammates. So Ioannis to get the Bulls on the board in Treviso. Successful from Ioannis. The Bulls take nearly 23 minutes, but they are on the board. They trail by 3. And a solid penalty converted by Keegan Ioannis. All set to start on the bench as the reserve scrum half for today's tie. Really taken out of play. Quickly Ardense doesn't have too many options here, but he's being helped along his way by Reinhardt Ludwig, most notably. Papier has the way of Grobbelaar. Still inside their own 22. When the ball is lost, it's been lost backwards.
Use it! West.
Setting up for the clearance, and successfully done by Keegan Ioannis.
Number 20, back off.
Good couple of minutes here for Keegan Ioannis. We've settled his nerves. 3 points, he kicked off the tee.
Sorry.
And that was a good clearance. Good control there by the Bulls, even after the ball spilled backwards. They kept their composure, got their exit strategies right.
Okay, Bulls.
Niccolò Cannone, meanwhile, has returned to the pitch. Cameron Arnacom back onto the bench he goes.
Number 5.
Maile going to Cannone, back to Maile though, not scrum off Garbisi. Here's Menoncello, takes it into 2, but he's brought down by Niccolò, recently returned. Looking to run the line now, Garbisi again joining Odogwu, has lost it forward, advantage to the Bulls. Gallagher smothers the ball, looks to bring it under control, but that'll be Bulls ball after the knock-on.
Benetton shaping up on that attack. Good hard run there by Menoncello. Took 2 Bulls defenders to bring him down and was still able to get over the gain line. But after that they were a little bit too rushed.
It is slippery smooth.
Knock on, allowing the Bulls now to get back in the game, and after that last scrum and scrum penalty, the Bulls will be very confident going into this.
It was recently announced as well, the world champions Springboks South Africa are going to be hosting Italy in a 2-test series next July. Players from both these sides will be aiming to be a part of that series. Johannes calling for the mark, and Gallagher off in a fullback, takes comfortably.
Go another step. Keep going.
Gallagher, England-born to a mother of Italian descent and an English-born father of Irish descent who represented New Zealand. John Gallagher, part of the 1987 World Cup winning All Black squad.
Benetton on the line. Benetton on the line.
Great to have your choices like that. Pick and choose where you want to play your rugby.
And is now a test player for Italy.
Cinque.
Celebrates his birthday tomorrow, does Matt Gallagher. So looking for an early birthday present with victory for Benetton over the Bulls here ahead of the 5-week URC break with the internationals coming up. Penalty to Benetton.
And that's the second Bulls line out.
That's
been lost.
Arrive up, please.
Very good pressure there by Ruzza.
Yeah.
Going up, contesting, and then poaching the ball from the Bulls.
Well, that's brilliantly kept in play. Now there are options for Devon Williams. So it steps one and then puts the ball on the boot. Throw in taken quickly by Benetton. There goes to boot. And Williams being charged down by Albornoz, is caught by the Argentine fly half. So no tries as yet as we approach the half-hour mark in this game. Bulls in possession, deep inside their own half. Towards the halfway line. Gallagher's missed out at it. Janchi looks to capitalise, looks to keep it in play, but he's touched the chalk on the far side, and it'll be a throw-in.
Good pressure there by Gianchi.
You're lucky there, but if you just give him more control, you're coming to target the ball.
Very unfortunate, Ambrose Papi couldn't get the ball away to the left flank from that deep kick.
Lovely take by Izekor, again being used in the line out this evening. Options with Niccolò Cannone, Federico Ruzza, and indeed Izekor. Garbisi, no tester here. Janchi successfully underneath it, but has his legs taken out from under him.
Okay, relax.
Seems to be fine.
In the space, there's a contest and taking him after it. It's just a penalty. Be careful.
Word of warning from the referee, just a penalty.
Does really well there. Eyes on the ball, goes up towards the ball, into the ball. Albornoz running underneath him, taking his legs away. He can be very lucky there. Luckily for Gianchi, he didn't fall badly.
Yes, there you go.
If anything was on his back or neck area, that could have been a lot worse for Albornoz.
He's certainly a key asset for this Benetton side. Second highest point scorer in the Rugby Championship this year. Fresh from kicking those 18 points to help Argentina retain the Puma Trophy when they beat Australia. Scoring the most points ever against the Wallabies in a single match when they won 67-27. Chase on here for the Bulls. Janchi coming back, but he's under immediate pressure again.
No lift on the ball.
Albornoz was there, showing his pace. And wonderful field vision as well from the Argentine fly half. They're being told to use it. The Bulls again look to take it into the tackle.
Use it! No.
Wilco Louw just giving Papier an extra metre and a half or so.
Yeah, very concerning here for the Bulls. Second line out in a row being lost. Miscommunication there between Johan Grobbelaar, Cobus Wiese.
It's good work from you.
The other jumpers not finding anyone there. And then Benetton able to tow it forward.
Let's get our timing right, please, Benetton.
The Bulls under more pressure.
What's rather remarkable though is that head-to-head, Benetton successfully from the line out. Here's Brex, goes through one, almost gets past a second as well. Only just holding on. Creel with fingertips has managed to bring Brex down. The little knock-on from Benetton. It'll be Bulls ball.
So I can't award knock-on Benetton. Thank you.
That's the danger and the power in the centres for Benetton. Brex there, driving through Keegan Johannes. And unfortunately, with that offload, the ball gets spilled.
It's a perfectly good contest from me there, okay? I'll just ask you to bring that message to the captain as well, but I understand your point. But for me, it's a good gap. You know, I'm happy, but I keep it on. Much better than last one. That's the standard.
Of course,
That's the good
this
standard
season,
last one.
if you do not contest for the ball, if it doesn't go straight down the middle,
that's the standard at last scrum, okay? Good height and
it
good
gets given
stability.
to the attacking side. If you do put that pod up to contest, it's got to be straight down the middle. That's the question that's been asked by the Bulls players there for Mr. Owen Cross.
It looked like Cobus Wiese just asking a question of the Irish referee. A couple of weekends ago, gave a red card to David Creel. It was subsequently rescinded in the match against the Ospreys.
Play it away.
Papier pulls it out.
Back inside and touched. All onside, touched by Benetton.
Smith calls Gallagher to take it.
Okay, retreat
Gallagher
out
claims.
of 10.
He looks to loft it with his left. Under
Backwards
pressure.
from Leandra.
It's gone back. Papier. Pulled to ground by Brex. Grobbelaar there to trying to protect possession for the Bulls, but it's not enough. Benetton have come away with it. Spagnolo looking to go laterally rather than straight ahead before being brought down by a heavy hit from Marcell Coetzee. Garbisi quickly out again, using the forwards now. Benetton quickly through the hands. Advantage being played to Benetton. Little kick through, chase on for Odogwu. And Janchi comes across and knocks the ball out of play.
We have a penalty for not rolling here.
Lovely hands again.
He's attempting to get the ball.
Benetton gets that forward momentum and that flow. They are looking dangerous.
Yes, but it's a genuine attempt to play the ball.
That was good counter-rucking there by Brex, leading the way from the wide ball. And that opportunity to counter-attack against a loose Bulls defence.
So coming back for the penalty, and Benetton are going to go for posts. Well, why I say this is a rather remarkable scoreline in fixtures between these sides is head-to-head. While Benetton beat the Bulls in the 2021 Pro 14 Rainbow Cup final, the Bulls have won all 4 of their United Rugby Championship fixtures since then in what's been traditionally high-scoring affairs, because Benetton averaged 29 points per game against the Bulls. Bulls averaged 37 points per game against Benetton. So traditionally, you're looking at a massive scoreline between these two. But no tries as yet, and we're 6 minutes away from the end of the opening half. And sneaks inside the upright, and Benetton go to 9. They lead by 6.
Good decision there. Just keep the scoreboard ticking, keep the pressure on the Bulls that way.
Thank you very much. Lads, make sure we're
Really
all
that
behind,
confident
middle, okay?
in going for their line out.
Here, guys.
Benetton, but they've done really well with their last 4 or 5 lineouts.
Again, deep from Johannes. With a clean take.
This is real test match rugby. Get the points on the board, keep the pressure on, win your restart, get the ball back into the opposition's half with a very good exit strategy, and then apply pressure through a very patient defence. Well done, Benetton.
Testing time. The Bulls have been a little less than successful from their own lineouts in this half. This time though, taken cleanly.
Same ball.
Getting some serious ground here as well, the Bulls. Abir. Creel. Can't quite get through the tackle of Lorenzo Cannone. Coetzee driving forward.
Stepping back.
Left at his feet. Abir. Tshakweni now. Joined the Bulls earlier this year. At the time at Southern Kings and the Cheetahs. From Hierden to Johannes, Creel, Kenan Moody, who've seen precious little of so far this evening in terms of running in the line.
Not supporting nobody right there.
Wiese. Hierden just going a little over the top. Here, Johannes. Grobbelaar being hit pretty hard by the stubborn Benetton defence.
It's always inside.
And Smith with an excellent kick.
Rhyno Smith, where did you pull that driver out? What a kick.
From a very acute angle, he has gained nearly 50 metres.
22 to 22.
It's got directly into touch, so it's not a 50-22. But it has to go in directly into touch for a 50-50. It goes straight out, there's no option.
I did go straight out.
It's just outside anyway, yes, thank you.
Outside.
No, sorry, open up here.
What a
This is your man over outside.
kick return. Once again, that Benetton defence, so
We're just
patient.
outside.
They don't overcommit at the breakdown. They've got bodies on their feet. And the Bulls eventually just running out of options.
Wiese. Coetzee. Oh, big hit again. Benetton doubling up on the Bulls runners for the first time in the game. Gallagher hits underneath this one. Contests with a clean catch. Brilliantly taken despite the pressure of Janchi. Benetton looking to run the ball again. Lorenzo Cannone, a man from Florence. Big deep sea fisherman he is when he's not playing rugby. Put across field and a little knock on here. The advantage to the Bulls. Odogwu unable to gain control of it.
High from 15, be careful.
And then high.
Good contest in the air first.
So penalty it'll be for the Bulls.
Odogwu there. No need to try and slap the ball back. I think he was in a good position to go up and actually get 2 arms to the ball and really contest for it. It goes loose, and unfortunately for Rhyno Smith and Benetton, it was a high tackle. And it allows the Bulls a bit of pressure relief.
Yes. Okay, time
Niccolò Cannone. Man who loves going back to Tuscany, where he was born in Florence.
When they're stepping back, and I don't want to hear from other players also, particularly number 2. Yeah, okay. Just have a quick word, thank you.
On cross, just having a word with Michele Lamaro.
Okay, this tempo, he's
Seems
up now,
like
let's go, Bulls.
Siua Maile has been having a word or two at the referee. Ross doesn't so much appreciate. Just hurrying the Bulls along here. Just over a minute away from half-time. What stood out for you, Tinas, in this opening half?
Well, it's been 65% possession for the Bulls, and I think the big key is here the inability to make anything from it. Although here we go, another chance by the Bulls. Well read there by Benetton defence.
What we haven't seen is the likes of Moody or Arendse able to break into any space where they are so lethal, so dangerous. Genuine credit, though, to Benetton, the way they've defended against the Bulls so far this evening, who are traditionally really good scorers in the opening half hour of any game.
Yeah, Benetton's defence have been very patient. Their spacings are there. They're not overcommitting, so they never run out of defenders. They end up actually having numerical advantage on the defence because they're not overcommitting, and the Bulls will have to send a few players in to protect the ball. And they've also kicked really well. You know, been contestable kicks, has not allowed any space really for Coetzee and Devin Williams. We did see once or twice he got away from the defenders, but not allowing any counter-attacking space for those dangerous runners.
Just seconds away from half-time. Instructions for the front row. Mirco Spagnolo, who's just signed a contract extension to 2027 this week.
72 tackles by Benetton against the 17 by the Bulls. And only 4 missed tackles. Just shows you the completion rate.
And Smith will just put this ball out of play. And that'll be half-time at the Stadio Monigo. No tries in the opening half, which is somewhat of a surprise between these two sides. Benetton and Bulls, who are both relatively free-scoring, particularly against one another. There have been some excellent penalties. Keegan Johannes with 1 for the Bulls, 2 from Albornoz in his first start in the URC for Benetton this campaign. And a long-range effort from Rhyno Smith in between sees Benetton leading the Bulls by 9 points to 3 at the break in Treviso. No tries in the first half of this fixture, round 6 beginning in the URC. Benetton hosting the Vodacom Bulls. Vodacom Bulls having made their way out from the tunnel a couple of minutes ago. Benetton only making their way back now with referee Owen Cross. Really filing from the vendor areas back towards their seats to enjoy the second half of rugby that promises perhaps tries. And so far, 4 penalties in the opening half is all the scoring that we've seen. Benetton leading 9-3 at the break. Keegan Johannes will get matches underway for the South African side Bulls. The Bulls in white trail by 6 at the break to their hosts Benetton. Taken cleanly, Garbisi.
Touched on.
Not ideal. And the bounce, though, is suboptimal for Devin Williams as well, and he's caught by his opposite number in Rhyno Smith. Brings him down, that's the halfway line. Papir. Send that ball out wide.
Use it!
The Bulls have been going with the short pick and goes, and then trying with a box kick. Looking to retain possession. The ball was knocked back, but then eventually forward towards the Benetton players. Go to boot. Williams.
Okay, Formati. Hey, Otto.
Bit of a kicking contest now.
Okay, Bulls, wait. All that.
Smith has time. He produced a stunning kick in the opening half of this fixture. 22-22. Tim Stelport alongside for this tie. Yep.
Yeah, you mentioned the kicking contest. It's not pretty rugby, but it's one of those aspects of the game that you've got to be very patient in. You've got to pick the right kicks, and then eventually the Bulls winning the territorial battle there with Rhyno Smith having to kick it out and finding touch on his own 10-metre line.
Clear dummy throw.
And this has been the Achilles heel for the Bulls. The lineouts are not functioning from that first half. Again now, miscommunication between Johan Grobbelaar and his jumpers.
Yeah, the immediately apologetic hand of Grobbelaar raised. One of a host of players from this Bulls starting 15, born in Paarl. Certainly a powerhouse of South African rugby.
Okay, 3, let him go.
To many incredible players over the years. Beer. It's this one up. Albornoz
Backwards into touch, Frank.
got underneath it, but didn't get very much on that at all.
Yeah.
Actually, the ball into touch. Good pressure from Arendse.
Yeah, good pressure there. Unfortunately, this is going to be one of those games for Kurtley Arendse where he will have to cover a lot of meters chasing. That's allowed the Bulls another opportunity.
Good contest and backwards play on.
Referee Owen Cross says good contest and backwards, so no advantage play to Benetton. Wiese looks to take it through the tackle. Gets past one. Tshakweni now. A few meters. Creel has Moody. 2 around him. Williams comes in to help. Ganchi protecting the ball as well, and that's going to be a Benetton penalty. Benetton have been so good at the breakdown.
Tackles on the outside, not affecting any arriving players.
Very good. Caught in a bad position there, sitting upright.
There was no knocker.
Once you go to the floor, you've got to work really hard to get in that long position to get the ball away from the opposing players. Very strong over the ball. Even though they conceded yards on the carries, they didn't panic. Reading the right tackle to counter and go for the steal. Once again, what a lovely clearance there. Penalty finder, touch finder.
Balls open up.
Maile, former Hurricanes player in Super Rugby, playing in Italy, representing Tonga internationally. Although opted out of the internationals mid-season to focus on his responsibilities at Benetton, to try to win the number 2 jersey at the club after both the Italian international hookers Niccolò and Cannone had left for France. Garbisi, Brex, held up by 2, lays it back nicely for Garbisi, who goes back into a little bit of traffic, and Ferrari can't hold on. Simone Ferrari has had his success against South Africa. It's part of the starting 15. When Italy beat South Africa for the first time in Florence. Back in 2016, end of year tour. Garbisi needs to fetch. Ganchi underneath this and claims the mark. Quite a contestable kick.
Yeah, that one too far. Too easy to field in the back.
This one's not going out of play.
Okay, retreat out.
BC puts it up. Smith looks to go after it and knocked forward by Johannes. Izekor takes it forward. Down by 2. Back with Ferrari. Maile takes it into his opposite number, Grobbelaar, and that ball has been ripped clear. Caught by Tshakweni, off to Papier, who sends a long one out towards Williams. It's a low driving kick. It's a clever kick as well. Arendse has got pace, chasing. Brings Menoncello down in his 50th appearance for Benetton. Look to keep that ball in play though.
It's backwards, in touch, it's a line out one.
Yeah, very good play there by the Bulls outside backs.
You're in touch.
Devin Williams with a long driving kick from the 22. It just fell flat there outside the Benetton 22. Kurtley Arendse working really hard in terms of his chase, putting their pressure on Menoncello. The combined effort of driving him in to touch, retaining the ball. So not quite a 50-22, but with that hard chase line from Kurtley Arendse, able to regain possession.
Bulls set to make a host of changes momentarily, and another line-out loss for the Bulls. Odogwu has possession, but it's caught by Grobbelaar.
His first man is good.
And then it's ripped back towards Bulls' side, but it's penalty to Benetton.
Rock forward.
Ruck formed means you have to
first, you're not on the ball.
get your hands out.
2 hands.
Once again, the Bulls line out being turned over.
João among those on the bench for Benetton, eagerly awaiting his introduction to this game. One of the exceptional players in the Rugby Championship for Argentina, particularly when they beat New Zealand in New Zealand.
Time off substitutions. Just a few substitutions here.
Yeah, and a fair penalty. So a host of changes for the Bulls. It's a new front row as well. Aka van der Merwe, Dylan Smith, Francois Klopper. And those making their way on. Wilco Louw, who'll be joining the Springbok group shortly, makes his way off the pitch.
Good contest to knock on there. With 2 knock-ons, first by White.
So a couple of knock-ons, but it'll be Benetton ball.
Okay, 1, 2, 5, 9.
And a few changes for Benetton as well, including Uren making his way on for Garbisi. He'll be joining his international teammates shortly as well for the Autumn Nation Series. The Azzurri are hosting Argentina and Georgia, and then New Zealand's All Blacks at the home of European football giants Juventus in the Allianz Stadium. Ruzza's day is done, Spagnolo's off. So to Maile. Bautista Bernasconi is on as well. There's Andy Uren, former Bristol man. Spends the longest time there, great box kicker. But also a great cat lover. I believe he walks his cat on a leash around town in Treviso. There's Odogwu coming off his wing, hit by Marcell Coetzee.
Taking too long there. Time called by Mr. Owen Cross. Waited for the caterpillar to be formed. Took too long.
Yeah, I understand that, but we don't need it all
You clearly see the intention of Benetton.
Lads, we're building it,
Don't
and I'm
want to
giving you
be
5
doing
seconds
any
to
play in their own half. Want to reapply pressure onto the Bulls receivers on the high balls.
I spoke to them about that.
You can see there. Waiting.
There's nothing saying they can't count, but it's against the spirit of the game, I understand. Good first scrum, same standards here, please. Yes, of course.
So first scrum of the new front row for the Bulls, with Smith, Klopper and van der Merwe in between.
Set.
Look at van der Merwe, like so many in rugby circles. One of a family unit, although his brother Duan plays for Scotland, currently with Edinburgh. Creel looks to get past one and managed to make his way past Lamaro, the Benetton captain.
Turnover's good, first man.
And the turnover successful. Menoncello comes away with it, makes the break through, the tackle as well. Ball on the boot. No tries in this game as yet. And that, a splendid kick from Menoncello, 50-22.
Great kick there by Menoncello. Got the ball away, had a break. That's the turnover initially. There, Menoncello goes in, steals the ball, breaks through a couple of tackles, and has the clarity of thought to recognise that he's still in his own half and puts the driving kick through.
So the 50-22 now. The line-out goes to Benetton, but they lose it. Aka van der Merwe looks to put the ball on his boots.
Well, he wanted to repeat that 50-22.
Not sure about his kicking ability.
Just keep the ball in hand. Keep the ball in hand, Akker.
The man who's represented both the Springboks and the Barbarians.
There's two problems here. I need you to step into the mark. I need you to open up. Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
Benetton, you might notice, have got the names of the players on their jerseys for the first time this season. Lineouts proving problematic for both these sides. Ball's in possession, Coetzee driving forward. Johannes looks to go high. Chasers are going after it. Rhyno Smith comfortable under the high ball, and this time takes cleanly after that uncharacteristic drop in the opening half. Caught by Moody though. You're in. Finding Cannone.
Use it! No, wait, no, wait. Stop, 22, stop. Okay, it's touched now by White. It's touched by White, clearly.
Takes a little touch off one of the Bulls players,
19,
and
wait.
Williams manages to keep this in play. Then it's a very low kick into the Benetton half. It's been lofted again. Nobody gets on the end of this one. Rhyno Smith holds on to Papier. Johannes, who is usually most comfortable at the base of the...
Just the coming together, nothing off the ball there for me.
The ruck.
Use it!
Papier now. Very comfortable underneath it, and he's got an eye for a gap. He finds one here. Kriel into Kurtley Arendse. He's got the option if he can beat a runner. Indeed he can. Tried the little pop pass to Okker van der Merwe, who was showing incredible pace to keep up with him. But a desperate final tackle has managed to save Benetton from conceding. Bulls have been driven back courtesy of the kick. Oh, Forster looking to apply a little pressure as well. Joined from the back line to protect the ball for the Bulls. Papier, Williams goes high but drops his head the moment after the ball left his boot. Odogwu, England-born Italy international, and that's going to be a penalty to the Bulls.
Not far enough, but great work there by the Bulls. Kurtley Arendse is so close in breaking away. Was that Cannone?
Yeah, Niccolò Cannone.
That tracked his all the way back. A lovely break there by Ambrose Papier, getting through. Offload. Look at the track back there by the big lock. Niccolò Cannone saving his team there a certain 5 points.
The Bulls, though, have got themselves into a position to try to go for posts again. Keegan Johannes has opted to go for posts. He has to reduce the gap to 3.
I'm not seeing it that way at all. Like, I'm seeing good square contest, but I will keep watching.
Bulls missing a few players, courtesy of an overnight illness. Boutha Chamberlain, the starting fly-half that was named earlier this week, unable to start. Instead, Keegan Johannes, the reserve scrum half, coming off the bench to start as the number 10. There's the kicking duties here. That's to reduce the deficit. And that's just pushed wide of the posts.
22.
Two players for the Bulls that have been rested as well, the likes of Markier, Steenkamp, Willie Leroux as well. Benetton, though, are missing a host of players, including Scott Scrafton, of course, who's serving the last of his 4-match suspension for his red card against Glasgow Warriors in round 2. But injury-wise, they're really struggling up front. Gallagher underneath this, takes cleanly.
Right here.
It's a lovely kick just over the head of the retreating Williams. Johannes, rather. Williams alongside him.
Inside.
Got the time.
Keep retreating.
Doesn't find touch. Albornoz goes high, taken cleanly by Johannes, who's hit by Rhyno Smith. Ball comes out cleanly for Benetton. An advantage is over, says referee Owen Cross, as Niccolò Cannone can't get past Elrich Louw. You're in. Izekor. Stopped by Coetzee. If they run the line, Benetton, they can be very dangerous. Ewan hit hard by Arnicum.
Spin on the floor, Avanti.
Both teams
Stumbled.
guilty of those little unforced errors. Accuracy of pass is just not there. Brex is this time knocking it on at the floor. See Lamaro not happy with the outcome of that passage of play.
Izekor making way for Sebastian Negri.
I think if you have the quality of a Sebastian Negri coming off the bench, Zuliani also there.
Yeah, Sebastian Negri, Zimbabwe born, South African raised, of Italian descent. Recently married as well to his longtime girlfriend Greta Durante. He returned from his honeymoon in the Maldives just before the start of this URC campaign. Very much a locker room leader at Benetton is Negri. There's Enzo Avaca, waiting for his opportunity to come on for Simone Ferrari. Well, that's the try line. Neither of these sides so far have managed to breach the try line of their opponents. It's been brilliant defence from both teams, most notably Benetton, it must be said.
Twice in the first half, the Bulls threatened that Benetton try line. Resolute defence, forcing the unforced errors and stopping any Bulls attack and momentum.
Use it, 9! Use it!
The fear being worn. Gets it out to Williams, who's moved into that fly half slot. Creel. Down by Brex. And the Bulls take it into the tackle. Just inside Benetton half. Down by Snyman, who's on for Benetton. He and Negri both have experience of playing in South Africa. In fact, Snyman got his big break through the Blue Bulls Academy. Here's a little break that's on for Keegan Johannes. Opts to go to the boot. Chases on for Arendse. Will it bounce kindly? Unfortunately not, but it's picked up. A little drive towards the line. He's over, but is that held up? It's down. Reinhardt Ludwig has gone over the Benetton try line. The on-field decision is try. And a brilliant break from Keegan Johannes that set up the scoring chance for the Bulls.
Okay, Brian.
Just going to have this checked. McNeese from Ireland is the TMO.
Okay, on-field decision is try. Just want to confirm there wasn't knocking in the air by 11 Bulls in the lead up to the try.
So we're looking for a potential knock-on by Kurtley Arendse in the lead up to the try. Mr. Cross is very decisive that it was a try by Reinhardt Ludwig. Just want to check whether there was a potential knock-on by Kurtley Arendse. That will be the first time the Bulls breached this defensive line, and you can see range is starting to fall down. So playing conditions going to be a lot harder. This will be a crucial 5 or 7 pointer for the Bulls. Both teams have really struggled to get any attacking momentum tonight.
Yes.
Arendse gets anything on it. Might have been a touch from Arendse.
Definitely a touch there. It's now whether it's gone forward, deemed forward out of the hand.
You're in the best position now, right?
taking a look at the various angles of this incident. Looks like there's clear contact with the hand of Ireland. It's whether or not it's forward, as you say, Tinas. So it looks like a knock-on. Disappointingly for the Bulls.
So clearly being deemed there by Mr. McNeese. Watching several angles of that play. Curtly Ireland's knocking the ball forward out of the hand. That's been a little bit of a symptomatic for the Bulls tonight. Ball just not bouncing their way. Opportunities going a-begging.
So approaching the hour mark, still no tries. It'll be Benetton feed at the scrum. Well inside their own half. Although the Benetton squad gathered in a huddle while the TMO decision was taking place, and both Ignacio Brex and Michele Lamaro having a few words with their teammates. Indeed, some rain coming down, not overly heavily, but it will certainly be adding to the challenge of both these sides in the remaining 20-odd minutes of this tie.
Set.
Celebrations there by the Benetton pack. Just across there, stating that the Bulls stepped around the contest. They didn't stay square. Stepping out and around. Strong scrummaging there by Benetton on the defence. And another opportunity lost here for the Bulls. And Jake White will be fuming. There we can see the angles on the loose head side of the Bulls.
Yeah, you're front, man.
Hips outwards, going around the corner.
This time a clean take in the line out as Snyman went up.
One stop.
You're just being handed the ball by Bernasconi. Taking it into the tackle.
Your own player slowing it now, you've put him there. Use it!
You can see that Benetton defensive line, they're not committing anyone in there. Back on their feet. Bulls will have to work those edges around the ruck to draw those defenders in to create space on the outside.
Use it!
Smith. Scrum half.
Use it!
The great contestable kick, and hit hard as Johannes, hit quickly as well, two closing him down.
Use it, 9!
Including Negri.
West. They stop here, 20.
Attempted chip over the defensive line. Ultimately unsuccessful. Albornoz claims possession. Uren looking for the ball. Smith. Little grubber kick through. Tester here. Tegan Johannes. A little slip puts him under pressure. He's brought down by Smith, and then pressure applied from Gallagher as well. Benetton have got the Bulls 5 metres from their own line. Forward by Francois Klopper, and that'll be another penalty to Benetton, and a chance to go 9 clear if they go for posts.
That is the defensive effort that is making a change in this match. Francois Klopper being brought down, turned over. The chase here by the Benetton Treviso outside backs, led by that man Rhyno Smith. all the pressure on the Bulls and unable to cope with that pressure. Gives away the penalty, holding on, isolated. And they've realised that they're struggling in the line-out. The playing conditions aren't the best. And for the 3 points here by Albornoz, very smart decision by Marco Bortolami and his team.
Doing more than a score clear is ultimately where you want to be. At the very least, that is. 18 minutes to play. Benetton lead by 6. This to go 9 clear of the visitors. And no concerns for Albornoz, who turned 27 last month. Maguare's player who signed for Benetton a few years ago, in 2021. Excellent playmaker, superb kicker. It's his field vision that's been so impressive today.
Yes, okay, who's going to go outside the qualities? Is okay? Yes.
There's Capitano.
Okay, time that time.
So Lamaro makes his way off, and Manuel Zuliani on in his stead. Consummate ball winner.
Get away.
Excellent producing turnovers for Benetton is Zuliani. But Lamaro's had another superb effort for Benetton this evening as they go in search of a 3rd consecutive win in the United Rugby Championship. After a rather inauspicious start.
Use it!
A draw against Scarlets on opening day, and then successive losses by massive margins before that victory over the Sharks.
Use
They turned their fortunes around. Can they complete the victory over the Bulls in their last tour game?
Okay, keep working back. Hold on. It's inside. Retreat. Retreat, Ted! He's inside, lads.
He's inside the 22, no concerns.
No, he's still inside and kicking the ball, yeah.
They are winning those small marginal moments. Lovely kick out of territory again by Treviso. They've been so effective in their kicking game, getting distance on their clearance kicks. Again, putting pressure back on the Bulls in their own territory.
On your front man, please.
A little more pressure to come as well. Enzo Avaca just warming up with a few push-ups before potentially making his way on. Ferrari still on the park for Benetton. Good fun of Marva. With the line out. Bulls continue their series of disappointing line-outs. This less than successful pass that is cleaned up brilliantly by Rhyno Smith. Odogwu takes it forward, but he's brought down by Arendse. And then looked to be a Bulls turnover. Penalty to the Bulls.
You're holding on the floor, it's spoiled the turnover. Holding from the 14.
Very good turnover there by the Bulls. Competing in those wide breakdowns. That bounce pass is so dangerous. Goes to floor, but Rhyno Smith running onto it at pace. That's the ball that goes down. It just bounces up in Rhyno Smith's hands.
Yeah, we'll give you time to match up.
Harold Foster there. Very good at competing at the right time. Chris Smith warming up on the side.
Marva. This time goes good. Run for Mark.
Okay, leave it now.
Takes in the line out from Marva there, distributing.
Tackle!
And that ball's been ripped clear. Penalty to the Bulls.
And the reason there, Mr. Cross called the tackle, and as soon as the tackle gets called, you have to release. And the Treviso players just holding on that half a second longer after the tackle was called. So difficult because you're trying to hold that player up, disrupt the ball. And all he needs to do is get a knee to the floor, and then it'll be deemed a tackle.
number 10.
Well, Forster taking it into the tackle.
Just hold him there for a minute.
Chris Smith.
Just have a sub. Just wait.
Into the park now for Keegan Johannes.
He stepped in for Boeta Chamberlain. Bit of a pressured performance by Keegan Johannes.
Little breakthrough here. Coetzee is nearly through. Only a metre out now. It's a big drive, but Van Mark is just short of the try line. Papier pops it up to Ludwig, who goes over for the try, and Reinhardt Ludwig will not be denied now. The Bulls have finally breached the Benetton try line, and they've got themselves back into within a score of Benetton.
Good leg drive, nice and low. Slightly a bit wider, just getting away from those strong defenders around the breakdown. This time he won't be denied. Second time he had to work hard to get over that try line.
Still a relative youngster at 22 is Reinhardt Ludwig. Somebody who came through that incredible rugby school, Afrikaanse school in Pretoria, where he was both head boy and indeed first team rugby captain. Now campaigning for the Bulls in the franchise competition. And Kriel successful with the conversion. The Bulls go to double figures and they're within 2 of Benetton.
And the changes of personnel seem to have done the thing for the Bulls, created a bit more momentum. Now Forster coming on, making a difference. Mostly there, Johan Van Mark coming in the lock. Reinhardt Ludwig also moving into the lock position. And Cameron Hanekom to come on at number 8.
Use it!
So anybody's game with 11 minutes to play. We've seen the first try of the game now. Avaca is eventually on for Ferrari. He's making a few more meters. Breaching tackles in the closing minutes of this.
Yes, 52 is on.
Incredibly hard fought fixture.
Okay, keep retreating. Keep retreating. All right.
Space opening up. The options to run or indeed kick the ball, and it's booted back into the opposing 22.
Okay.
Back on the boots. Smith.
Backwards.
Trying to take it into the tackle, lost the ball backwards and picked up by Menoncello, but it looked like he had a little knock on. And referee Owen Cross agrees.
Oh, I can see the sigh of relief from here, from Chris Smith. That was the wrong decision. Didn't have any supporters behind with you.
It's clearly not done.
Fortunately there for Menoncello.
I'm not going to change my mind, okay? I understand it's tight, but let's just get on with the
Small
game.
handling error.
Happy it wasn't for me.
That was an opportunity. That was created by a bit of indecision at the back by Chris Smith. It would have been better just to hoof it back to the corner.
Man who loves being outside, running
Let's just speed up the formation.
lines with his inside centre. He stepped up brilliantly on the big stage as Tommaso Menoncello, celebrating his 50th appearance for Benetton Rugby here this evening. Certainly leading the new generation of Italian players. Hanekom. Just a little bit of drizzle coming down still.
Crouch! Point! Set! Keep it steady. Height.
Papier gets it out quickly. Smith shoots back for the possible return kick. Indeed it comes. Williams underneath it. Takes clean lead as the man from Stellenbosch who made his breakthrough at Western Province. Really stood out for the Pumas when they won the Currie Cup a couple of years ago. But that, though, is a penalty to Benetton. Again, some tremendous work from Rhyno Smith.
Menoncello again over the ball. An extra loose forward. The strength he has over that ball. Wilco Louw unable to move him, also coming in from the side. Holding on.
It's Jacob Umanga. So to come on for this man, Albornoz, but Albornoz 3 from 3 so far. Rhyno Smith with the second penalty from inside his own half. Just to go 5 clear of the Bulls. Turns around immediately. Albornoz makes no mistake. Converts his 4th penalty out of 4. Benetton lead by 5. 15 points to 10. As Albornoz, that his last contribution of the game. Off he comes, and on in his place, the England-born international Jacob Umanga. He played against his uncle Tana in great Springbok All Blacks matches in years gone by.
Yeah, indeed. Notable play in the midfield for the All Blacks and on the wing. Dad Mike.
Yep.
A couple of post-professional rugby career charity games.
Yeah, a hard man, former Samoa international, is Father Mike. And then I'm not going to mention
well, there's a certain cousin,
Jerry Collins. Let's say he hit you hard in a test match once upon a time, Tinas.
I'm still shuddering. Actually, my final game before the Springboks in the 2003 Rugby World Cup in the quarterfinals ran a line I thought was a great line, but then the big Jerry Collins stood right in my way. Still feeling it today.
Okay, Benetton hold.
Bulls with the line out. This time Van der Merwe finds his man. Looking for a way through. Needed to sidestep the referee for the moment at Van der Merwe. Burger.
Leave it! Use it, 21! Let him go.
Burger being told to use it. It's the halfway line he's on as he lofts one again. Excellent take from Gallagher. It's been exceptional under the high ball for Benetton tonight, despite the very damp conditions. Johan opts not to kick. Instead, he goes to Negri. Finds an additional metre for Benetton. And going for the contestable kick, maybe just a little too far, taken nicely by Smith. 5 minutes to play. And Smith can't find a way through. A little lofted kick by Burger. And that's going to be Uren calling the mark.
Not a great kick there by Zach Burger. Nothing in it. Straight to Andy Uren all the time in his world. Spilling an opportunity there. He's got less than 5 minutes. You're in a good attacking position. Yes, it is slippery conditions. You've got to break down that defensive line with the big hard runners. The likes of Wilco Louw, Ron van Mark, Akker van der Merwe. They've got opportunity here again. They're only on 60% line-out success so far tonight. Hoping precious few opportunities they now have goes to hand.
Coetzee seeking options. Hanekom was a potential outlet. Burger taking it forward is Dylan Smith, man from Durban. Penalty to the Bulls.
Overextended first, 16. You must be supporting your body.
Just over 3 minutes to play. Big decision to come here.
16 overextended and half feet.
David Kriel is not looking at the posts.
No, this is the right option. They have the losing bonus point. If they do hit the penalty, it's only 3 points. They'll still be losing. They have to trust Akker van der Merwe. And on from Mark. But they'll be hitting the line out and then setting up a driving maul. A lot of pressure here on Akker and his team.
Still anybody's game in the closing minutes of this tie. Bulls line out, just over 5 meters out.
Ball.
Taken cleanly. Looking for that driving maul. Van der Merwe at the back, and everybody joining now, and they're over for the score. 78th minute and scores are level, but the conversion to come. From the line out, set up the driving maul, and Bulls barge their way over. Their second try, and the gamble is paid off. A potential winner to come.
That's better from the Bulls. Akker van der Merwe finding Rohan van Mark. Look at that setup. They're all nice and tight. Van der Merwe just sitting at the back, waiting for his moment. The backs also storm in. Harold Foster.
The game must restart, okay? The shot clock in the stadium is wrong, so we must restart.
Falls over for the try.
Yes, but we must restart, okay? Yeah. Yeah.
So David Kriel.
Yeah.
Pressure on the centre.
5 seconds on the shot clock. This one is wrong, okay? Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Bomber, let me know when there's 20
shot
seconds.
Clock is
on
ticking
that.
down.
The wrong shot clock.
Very careful not to overrun it.
Yeah, perfect.
25-year-old, formerly on the books of the Stormers, but he joined his younger brother Richard, who's now at the Lions, at the Bulls in 2020.
20 seconds.
This to potentially win it for the Bulls in the final minute. Kriel knows he's got it. Flags go up and the Bulls lead in the closing minute of this tie in Treviso. They've trailed the entire match, and they might have stung Benetton in the closing moments.
Oh, Mr. Fix-It for the Bulls does it again. Whether he's fullback, wing, inside centre, having to take the kicks.
No hands now, leave it.
He steps up when the moment comes. So dependable.
Use it.
A lot of versatility in him.
Arrival.
Yes. Van der Merwe's late try and the very late conversion by David Kriel as we hit the 80-minute mark. Ball is kicked out of play and the Bulls have pulled off a superb victory away. Their last game on tour in Europe, and they've beaten Benetton at home by 2 points. And it's all come in the closing moments. There was concern overnight with an overnight illness that struck the camp. 4 players out. Replacements needed to be called in. And what was a low-scoring affair for the bulk of this tie has seen the Bulls cross the Benetton try line twice in the closing 12 minutes. And they've pulled the proverbial rabbit out of the hat. Akker van der Merwe with a last-ditch try and David Kriel with a late conversion as the Bulls sneak it in the final minute. The Bulls away to Connacht and Galway for round 7 after the international break at the end of the month, and Benetton are away in Edinburgh for round 7 after the international break. Not disconsolate of Benetton, but they are pipped in the final minute. Vodacom Bulls have beaten Benetton Rugby by 17 points to 15 in the final minute.